Absorption of nutrients. The complex food is starch. Starch is digested first in the mouth by salivary amylase into maltose. Then maltose is digested by maltase in the small intestine into glucose. Now proteins. Proteins are first digested in the stomach into peptides. Then in the small intestine, peptides are digested into amino acids by trypsin and urepsin. Now, lipids. Lipids are digested by lipase in the small intestine into fatty acids and glycerol. هول هن simple food or nutrients مثل ما عرفنا. They are present in the small intestine. Okay? أكيد nutrients are present in the small intestine. يعني in the small intestine حيكون في عندي nutrients، حيكون في عندي simple food. أكيد ما راح يكون في عندي complex food. أكيد ما راح يكون في عندي starch. Why? Because starch is digested first in the mouth by salivary amylase into maltose. Then maltose is digested in the small intestine into glucose. يعني عندي in the small intestine glucose. إذا بدي أحكي عن البروتينز. proteins أكيد ما بيكون في عندي in the small intestine proteins. Why? Because first proteins are digested by pepsin in the stomach. Then يعني هون إذا بدي أشوف proteins are first digested by pepsin in the stomach into peptides. Then peptides are digested by trypsin and urepsin in the small intestine into amino acids. So in the small intestine حيكون في عندي glucose، حيكون في عندي amino acids، حيكون في عندي fatty acids and glycerol. إذا بدي أشوف أنا هون هعتبر this is the small intestine. إلنا in the small intestine حيكون في عندي simple food or nutrients اللي هن الامينو acids, fatty acids and glycerol and glucose. So in the small intestine إلنا حيكون في عندي simple food اللي هن amino acids, fatty acids and glycerol, glucose. Now, these nutrients will pass to blood or lymph. So, nutrients will pass from the small intestine to the blood or lymph. This phenomenon is called absorption. So, absorption is the passage of nutrients from the small intestine to the blood or lymph. أكيد هعتبر أنا هون this is the small intestine. So absorption is the passage of nutrients from the small intestine to the blood or to the lymph. So absorption is the passage of nutrients from small intestine to the blood or to the lymph. Now إذا بدي أشوف أنا هون a cross section of the intestinal wall under the microscope. This is the intestinal wall. The intestinal wall contains many ridges. These are the ridges. يعني هيدا this is a ridge. This is a ridge. This is a ridge. So the intestinal wall contains many ridges. As you know, this is a ridge. These ridges are covered by numerous villi. إذا بدي أشوف أنا أول شيء villi is the plural. Villas is the singular of villa. Yeah. This is this is a villas. 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 وأكيد كلهم مع بعض شو بنقول عنهم؟ villi. So the inner wall of the small intestine has many ridges. These ridges are covered with numerous villi. What is the villus? Villus is the unit of absorption. No. إذا بتشوف أنا الفيلس, this is the villus. One villus, this is the structure of one villus. It contains intestinal cells. These are the intestinal cells. So these are the intestinal cells. These are the blood vessels. كما شايفين يكونوا من برا من فوق. These are the blood vessels. ومن جوا شو في عندي؟ The lymphatic vessels. Okay? This is the structure of vellus. هيدي كلها شو? The structure of vellus. Now, what are the characteristics which favor the intestinal absorption? First, large surface area of absorption. Why? Since the inside wall of the small intestine is lined with small villi. في عندي thin intestinal wall and they are rich in blood vessels. يعني إذا أنا سألتكم what are the characteristics which favor the intestinal absorption بتقولوا large surface area of absorption, thin intestinal wall, and they are rich in blood vessels. Now, لما يصير في عندي absorption. لما يصير في عندي absorption, all nutrients pass into blood except fatty acids and glycerol, اللي شو lipids يعني, pass into the lymph. Okay? لما يصير في عندي absorption, قلنا absorption is the passage of nutrients from small intestine to the blood or lymph. هنشوفهم هون بالرسم. These are the absorbing intestinal cells. هون في عندي البلاد وهون في عندي lymph. Okay? أكيد السمول ريكتانجل هن شو النيوترينتس يعني قصدي فيها هون امينو اسيدز جلوكوز اوكي واكيد the orange circle هن شو lipid يعني هون اذا بدي شو in the intestinal cells حيكون في عندي nutrients اللي هن amino acids glucose حيكون في عندي أكيد الفاتي acids and glycerol اللي هن lipids. Okay? So مثل ما قلنا all nutrients pass into the blood مثل ما شفنا nutrients اللي هن the small rectangles pass into the blood. This is the blood. So all nutrients pass into the blood except fatty acids and glycerol اللي هن شو lipids. except fatty acids and glycerol اللي هن شو هون الأورنج circle مثل ما شايفين الأورنج circles. So all nutrients pass into the blood except fatty acids and glycerol اللي هن lipids pass into the lymph. Okay? إذا جيت لهون على الليمف شوفي عندي lipids اللي هن fatty acids and glycerol which are represented by small orange circles. Okay? So, all nutrients pass into the blood except fatty acids and glycerol اللي هن lipids pass into the lymph. هلا there are two routes of absorption أكيد حيكون في عندي two routes of absorption which are blood and lymph.